There, we're recording right now, so I can send this out to everybody. Thanks for joining us. For those that are watching this after the fact through the recording, there was a glitch somewhere between Zoom rooms. So if you got onto another room and it looked like the meeting was canceled, I apologize. I sent this out as soon as I realized I had forgot to send this link out earlier this week. So thanks for joining us, those that are on. And then those that are going to watch this later on, if you have questions about anything, just give us a call and we'll fill any gaps. So a couple of things that I have on the agenda, just want to do some updates with. First, Warren, you're on. If you would cover, Warren, if Warren has to leave in the call, it's because he's expecting an important call from USDA. But Warren, we'll just let you talk about State Shoot first, if you will.
Right, so I talked with it last month, but I just want to reiterate for State Shoot that's coming up. The deadline for individual registrations is the 24th of June. We know it's kind of bad timing. Some of you will be in, most of you, I should say, will probably be in Laramie for Showcase Showdown that week. So we're going to give you till the 1st of July to then we'll turn around, give you all of your participants back that signed up for State Shoot, and then you can get your team designation in on July 1st. I also want to reiterate, too, that if any of the young people registrations come up, you get any phone calls, anything that comes up after the fact, like, for example, after the 24th of June, we will take registrations. We have a $25 late fee. As basically how we've done. We want the young people to be able to participate. The consequences for being late, time for us is $25. So that's the bottom line. That's how we're going to do State Shoot registration. We sent out a link to the registration Zoom form. I'm sorry, not Zoom. FormStack form. If the counties are allowing the individual participants to register themselves. If the counties are registering all their delegations, I sent out an individual registration form that you can collect that will help you make those registrations. So two different things with the flyer with the link that they can send directly to the individuals, or there's the individual registration form that you can collect and then register all the participants. So if there's any questions at all, I'll send out those two documents, those links, again, just as a reminder, along with the team form that we'll use to register teams for each of the disciplines. So any questions, comments, I'll be happy to take those through this format, or you can email me any questions you have about State Shoot. The other thing that I did want to mention is that we talked about organizing a teen leadership type event in each of our area meetings. I'll tell you, our original intent, we were going to tie it to a football game and UW Campus Pass. So right now, the UW Campus Pass is going to happen. The event, separate from just 4-H event that we were going to host, is now on hold. I'll tell you, the biggest issue is we absolutely cannot find facilities here or around Laramie to do it. We've checked with hotels, we've checked with camps, we've checked even with the fairgrounds, sleeping on the floor, doing just kind of a lock-in type thing for one night, and even they have a gun show going on. So that is part of our problem, finding facilities. So right now, there's still going to be the UW Campus Pass that 4-H members can participate in. That includes also, the Campus Pass to tour, everything they have with that, plus the football game. Just the separate team leadership event right now is on hold, and it's not going to happen in September. So we're still trying to schedule that for different time, different avenue, but it will not happen in September this year. Okay.
Anything for Warren on that right now? Checking the chat box, nothing there. Okay, I'll move on to the next thing, just as from updates. Just a reminder that the 4-H Foundation has a variety of fundraisers going on throughout the state. If you, those monies that are generated from those fundraisers go on to support the overall 4-H program collectively. They may look like they're shooting sports oriented, which they are kind of in nature, but that money is broadly spent across the 4-H program and for general support. Grows the endowment, is spent on support of other curriculum, trips, awards, all those type of things for the program. So the more you can help advertise those as well or include them in things, that'd be useful for us. Again, you don't have to do anything other than help advertise on them. At this point in time, the foundation, with our help, takes care of the implementation of those things. But if you have people that are interested, it's good that you, or you have questions yourself to be more knowledgeable about it, give Steve a call and he can give you some details on those. I know most of you have your own county fundraisers, so yeah, but it's a collective effort, right, as far as that goes on being able to fund the program. Okay. Any question on those? I'll check chat. Nope. Okay. Next on the list was just letting you know about State Fair, just kind of an update on where all things are at. I'm on the board, like I said, for the College of Ag right now. And we had a board call. They had a meeting. I just got on remotely on Tuesday, I think it was, or Wednesday. Some update information to be aware of. As you know, we have an interim director, Dan Cheney, who's trying his dangest to get us through this year's State Fair, and I feel like he's doing a yeoman's job right now. Not met the man, but he's doing a good job of communicating with our office and with others. He was left with no judges and a lot of gaps, so he's doing a really good job of getting some things taken care of. Something to be aware of, just because I know our county offices sometimes connect directly with State Fair. There has been some turnover at the State Fair office recently, this week. I don't know any of the details, so don't quote me 1,000%. Terry, you may know as well too, but I was told on the board, on that board call, that the deputy director resigned her position or retired, one of the two. That would have been Vicki Rupert, and that Bonnie Ramirez also resigned. She was the one that did all of the software programs. So there's not much of a story behind all of this other than there's turnover going on related to the releasing of James, I would say, from his departure. That being said, it's created a kind of a more communication issue, I think, going into State Fair. As of right now, I have nothing else more to show other than Dan's doing a good job so far as the whole board is concerned. He's got most of the judges hired and in place. There's still some gaps. We may be calling you to help fill some of those gaps down the road to make stuff happen. As from our standpoint, everything's moving forward. It should be fairly normal from our standpoint at this point in the game. If you're made aware of serious concerns that might have been overlooked in gaps, that from normal communications you might have with their office and go, whoa, this could be a bigger deal. I don't know if Jonathan knows that. Don't assume I do. Call me, because we don't want to get to State Fair and have this giant blow up where when we could have resolved some things if only it had been, hey, did you know they're planning to do this or not do this? There is some confusion, as an example, about what's going on with the horse show. They still, last I heard, they still don't have a superintendent hired on to replace Saunders. Now I'm drawing a blank of what her name is. She was the youth horse show superintendent from Campbell County. Oh, come on, Warren. I thought you were going to say it. I'm looking at your face.
It's right on the tip of my tongue, and I can't think of it either.
Anyway, so she's
Chandra. Is that what it is? Saunders? Never mind.
Anyway, she's gone. Hasn't been filled. That's kind of why there's some confusion. In terms of programming perspectives, though, things are moving forward. So if you have, I expect everything to be the same as it has been in the past from our perspective, including the online registration through our office and then using their software as well. So, and FFA. So my guess is Dan has not responded to me. I've made him aware. Some of these things all seem really weird to him, and they are, but it's been how State Fair's run and worked with us in the past. So it is what it is. As you get closer, if you have questions, again, give me a call. Or call them. You know, they should have answers too if they're State Fair directly related. Any questions about State Fair then? Chat box real quick. Nothing there. Okay. Oh, actually, I'll just pull it up over here for future reference. Great. Okay, next on my list, Warren covered State Shoot. Was just an update on from Sarah Torbert. She couldn't be on the call today. a couple things I've had her write some notes, so I'm just going to read her notes. Okay, so on Friday, this is part of Showcase Showdown. First registration's due today. So registration from you all on who's coming from your counties and stuff. If you're one of those counties that you register the delegates, they're due today. Please get them in so we can get numbers figured out and workshops lined out and everything else. On Friday at 4 p.m., so that must, yeah, she's going to send out a complete list of everybody who registered, okay? So, and then she'll send out a new list on Saturday morning in case, so we have more verification of if there are any changes. So, but by Tuesday of this next week, please designate any of the teams that you have. If you have teams coming for horse judging or produce judging or livestock skill-a-thon or any of those things that have teams involved, food cook-off, we need to have those in by Tuesday morning. It's really important to have those because if we don't, we can't schedule when those kids are competing in individual contests or versus the team contest, and then also when they are might want to participate or sign up for some of those workshops that are different time slots. So we can't work out all those details between Karen and Sarah and everything else with the superintendents of those shows or contests unless we have who's all in the teams because of how they all compete in various events in those 3 days. So she will also send out a rooming list over the weekend. Please look at it and make sure you're okay with who's rooming with arrangements. You would know better for your people whether things will work or won't work for those that are, with the events that are going on. If you see a problem, you need to have something changes, she needs to know by Tuesday morning at 11 o'clock. So Sarah needs to know on Tuesday who your Tuesday morning by noon, who your teams are and any room arrangements so she can work with on-campus room people to make sure stuff works. Now, as for chaperones, she wanted to remind everybody that if anyone is staying with you or working with you, they need to be certified 4-H volunteers, okay, through the system. Please help us encourage leaders to get that done. It could take a few weeks, so don't delay. If you know some volunteers in delay or isn't quite signed up, check them or for your chaperones. If they're staying the night with kids, it might take a little bit to get through the system. I'd get on that one ASAP. To make sure they can get through the system in time. The last thing she would, Showcase Showdown related, she wanted you to know is that there is a new volunteer training that'll be online soon. If you're wanting to do it face-to-face with the new materials that she shared out already on the employee's website, you are more than welcome to. But there will be an update to the online aspect of it coming up soon. So I may or may not have answers to questions you have related to those things because Sarah's on, so if something was unclear that I shared, shoot, and I'll try and answer them. If you're talking, you need to unmute yourself for those that...
I just unmuted myself. I just wanted to let everybody know, in case you didn't see the chat box, we just received the last registration spot for the beeswax workshop on Thursday. I have closed it.
Okay, so it's full if you have kids calling your offices interested in that. It doesn't mean it might not change by the time the event happens of moving around, but as of right now, okay? That's great. Thanks, Karen. Anything else Showcase Showdown related? Or Sarah related? Okay, I'll move on. I didn't get any updates from Dawn of anything to know. I just want to remind everybody that horse camp's going on. Registration's full. I think you saw an email that she shared that there were 2 spots opened up still from people that canceled last minute. So if you have any last minute kids that want to go, these are youth, have them contact Dawn directly and she'll plug them in. It's kind of last minute because it starts this earliest Monday, I think, or Sunday. But you still have a chance, I think, to fill those 2 positions. So the other one is those horse day camps are going on. Make sure people get signed up for those. The 307 judging series is out and about. You've seen things from Dawn on that for your kids that are involved in livestock judging or want to be. She launched that livestock show series as well. So if you have kids that love to show livestock in these jackpots throughout the summer, there's kind of a series for gathering points. And she has that report form posted on the animal all of these things are posted for information on that animals opportunities part of our website. So you can find details or direct families to that as well too. And last but not least, Don want to remind us that there's those 3 ambassador-driven livestock camps. They've had 2 now. I think the second one was in Moreland yesterday, and there's one more to be planned, I believe, in Casper coming up this summer as well. And I don't have that date off the top of my head, but I think those would be things coming from Dawn. And if you have questions relating to those things, shoot them to her. She's happy to fill in any gaps or direct you to places with more information. That's all that was on my agenda. I know you guys are in full swing in your counties, so we will not have one of these in July nor in August. So this will be kind of the last Zoom call for the summer months, and we'll get started back up in September. I will shoot an email out with this link when we're all said and done today too, and with a note about that. Any other questions or topics that we need to be brought to our attention? Again, if I don't see you and you're muted, we can't hear you. Great, Terry. As soon as we get off here, hang tight and I'll talk to you, okay? All right, sounds good. All right, thanks everybody then. I don't see anything more questions. Have a great weekend. And I know you guys are crazy busy for the next few months with all things 4-H. So if issues pop up, don't be afraid to call our office. Karen will direct you to the right person down here for any answers or support we can give you, okay? Keep your chins up, smile. Now's when we're in the throes of making a difference in kids' lives, so we have to dig deep to put smiles on our faces and the ability to keep people happy. It's tough, I get it. So thanks for what you do. Bye, everybody.
Thank you, everybody.